So I want to know which Omnitrix is the absolute best of them all. After doing all of my research, in today's video, we'll be trying to find out which Omnitrix from the show was truly the best. Now, the Omnitrix is a mythical science fiction device created by the Galvin Einstein Azimuth. Once attached to the user, it allows them to transform into various aliens with an even more varied list of powers. Now, I already have a top 3 in mind, but before we get to that, here are a few that are still pretty strong contenders. Firstly, touching on the classic Omnitrix. This watch is where it all began for Ben. Being found in the middle of a forest by Ben Tennyson, it came with a playlist of 10 aliens for him to begin with. Now, of course, he unlocks more aliens as the series goes along. The classic Omnitrix itself has a very well-rounded playlist of aliens. Just speaking of the first 10 aliens, it makes for a very balanced team for any situation. He has a sensory type of alien in Wildmud who excels in tracking down his enemies, an alien like Accelerate who specializes in speed as this enables Ben to get to locations quickly and to take advantage of being too fast for his opponents. He has a flyer like Stinkfly who can take to the skies and shoot slime projectiles. And of course, Forearms, his go-to 1v1 me bro alien who is clutch for those fights you just can't run away from. The level of versatility that comes with this starting playlist is amazing. And when Ben unlocks Master Control, the playlist gets to really shine as he's able to 2v1 Vilgax and Mutant Kevin. The only downfall to this watch is that darn timeout function. Even though it is only said to time out after 10 minutes, Ben seems to time out much sooner than that. And don't get me started on him getting the wrong aliens more often than not. Moving on to about 5 years later, this classic watch turns into the Alien Force Omnitrix that we all know and love. It came with a new interface where instead of pressing the green buttons on the side, you'd have to press both of these silver buttons and turn it for the playlist to be accessed. This would pop up a hologram of the aliens in the watch, which was a whole new playlist of 10 arguably better aliens than what was in the classic watch. This new playlist is the epitome of well-rounded. He had a speed alien that could also fly and shoot laser beams, another flyer who could turn intangible and also freeze its targets, a giant dinosaur who could triple in size, and a rockman who could absorb energy. This was a great playlist for Ben, but personally, I don't like the whole stamina timeout sequence, or the fact that it gives Ben no warning when he's about to run out of energy. Another factor that I didn't really like is the way how it easily just plops off, throwing the whole merged with your DNA thing right out the window. After Ben lost the Omnitrix to Vilgax and Albedo, he blew it up, but Ben was able to get his hands on Albedo's lab concoction, which was the Ultimatrix. After he stole what seemed to be another work in progress for Azimuth, he made the Ultimatrix to get the upper hand on Ben. After Ben got it, we got to see a lot more from the Alien Force playlist. Now, what the Ultimatrix does is that it hyper-evolves any alien within the watch through a potential scenario of constant combat, giving them an edge in battle when they go ultimate. These aliens became even bigger powerhouses compared to their de-evolved counterparts, as we could see in the Albedo versus Ben fight, where Ben took a humongousaurus-sized L in 2.56 seconds. Even though this mode is very strong for battle, the drawbacks towards it is the sentience that the watch inadvertently creates by putting these DNA samples through the ringer like that. This was a huge problem for Ben as it almost killed him, and that is never a good trade-off. On to a non-prime version of Ben Tennyson, I want to talk about the Reboot version of the Omnitrix. Now, the Omnitrix from the Reboot Season 2 unlocked the Omni-enhanced hybridization for all of Ben's aliens, but at the sacrifice of his upgrade transformation. These new forms amplified Ben's transformations, giving them new gear to make their already amazing skill set even stronger, along with giving them electrokinesis, which was some way in line with their strengths. And come on, they made Grey Matter able to do a 1v1. That's pretty cool. The Season 4 Omnitrix from the Reboot as well is a pretty good one, as it gives the entire playlist omnikix armors. These are unlocked after Ben inserted the Omnitrix key into the watch, which was left in the pod that the watch arrived in. This new mode is also a power amp for the aliens, giving them enhancements on their abilities and even new ones. And I mean, come on, they gave Humongosaur a projectile now. That literally makes him perfect. Now finally, for the top 3 Omnitrixes. The completed Omnitrix from the end of Ultimate Alien onward into Omniverse. It was given to Ben by Azimuth as the perfected version of his Omnitrix, after the Ultimatrix literally fell off. It comes with access to every alien Ben has ever become, and the new ones as well, giving the playlist an almost unreal amount of versatility. This gave Ben new aliens like Atomix, for example, who has nuclear-based powers. This kind of overwhelming shiatsu helped him to 1v1 Ultimate Spider Monkey and Humongosaur, and win with ease. Not only that, the completed Omnitrix also has access to Alien X, but where Ben Tennyson is in the driver's seat. And to be honest, the fact that Ben always has access to this is scary. A great leap into the future though is where we see what Ben 10K Omniverse did with his knowledge of the watch, creating the Omnitrix, a dual-wielding gauntlet Omnitrix that allows the user to fuse aliens together, creating endless combos. This, coupled with his battle experience, sort of makes him look super overpowered. Lastly, the Reboot's power-up that they gave to Kevin Levin, which is the Antitrix. This watch not only has the benefit of having an incredibly balanced playlist like the original, but he has them in a hybridization form, sort of like the Omnitrix, but with a tad less versatility. He has a better version of all 10 of Kid Ben's aliens. Along with that, Kevin has access to a pseudo master control, where he's able to jump from alien to alien without any issues. The only downside is that the watch still times out. Did I mention that the watch at its full potential fuses the user with Celestial Sapien DNA? Now, before I reveal my top pick, comment down below which Omnitrix from the top 3 deserves to be the number 1. For me, I would have to pick the Omnitrix. Beyond the fact that it comes with the ability to mix and match aliens for any situation, creating an endless pool to choose from for combat, it also has the Master Control unlocked, the ability to fuse aliens with Alien X, and of course, no timeout sequence. I would put the completed Omnitrix in second place simply because of the high level of versatility that comes with the playlist. And finally, I'll put the Antitrix in third place because even though it has most of the classic playlists in their own amped form, the timeout sequence isn't fun. And if you want to know what the worst Omnitrix is, it's the Prototype 71 worn by Tim 10. Subscribe for more videos like this.